Hey, my vibrations, it's V to the I to the B to the mother of 5E. Here we go. Back with chapter 3, part 2 of The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. This is titled Applying the 7 Faces for Connecting to Intention. Having been in the business of human development for most of my life, the question I most frequently hear is, how do I go about getting what I want? At this juncture of my life, as I sit here writing this book, my response is, if you become what you think about, and what you think about is getting what you want, then you'll stay in a state of wanting. So the answer to how to get what you want is to reframe the question to, how do I go about getting what I intend to create? My answer to that question is in the remaining pages of this chapter, but my short answer is this. You get what you intend to create by being in harmony with the power of intention, which is responsible for all of creation. Become just like intention and you'll co-create all that you contemplate. When you become one with intention, you're transcending the ego mind and becoming the universal all-creative mind. John Randolph Price writes in A Spiritual Philosophy for the New World, until you transcend the ego, you can do nothing but add to the insanity of the world. That statement should delight you rather than create despair, for it removes the burden from your shoulders. Begin to remove that ego from your shoulders and reconnect to intention. When you lay your ego aside and return to that from which you originally emanated, you'll begin to immediately see the power of intention working with, for, and through you in a multitude of ways. Here are those 7 faces revisited to help you to begin to make them a part of your life. Number 1, be creative. Be creative means trusting your own purpose and having an attitude of unbending intent in your daily thoughts and activities. Staying creative means giving form to your personal intentions. A way to start giving them form is to literally put them in writing. For instance, in my writing space here on Maui, I've written out my intentions, and here are a few of them that stare at me every day as I write. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is right. My intention is for all of my activities to be directed by spirit. My intention is to love and radiate my love to my writing and any who might read these words. My intention is to trust in what comes through me and to be a vehicle of spirit, judging none of it. My intention is to recognize the spirit as my source and to detach from my ego. My intention is to do all that I can to elevate the collective consciousness to be more closely in rapport with the spirit of the originating supreme power of intention. To express your creativity and put your own intentions into the world of the manifest, I recommend that you practice japa, a technique first offered by the ancient Vedas. Japa meditation is the repetition of the sound of the names of God while simultaneously focusing on what you intend to manifest. Repeating the sound within the name of God while asking for what you want generates creative energy to manifest your desires. And your desires are the movement of the universal mind within you. Now you may be skeptical about the feasibility of such an undertaking. Well, I ask you to open yourself to this idea of japa as an expression of your creative link to intention. I won't describe the method in depth here because I've written about it in a small book with accompanying CD by Hay House called Getting in the Gap, Making Conscious Contact with God Through Meditation. For now, just know that I consider meditating and practicing japa essential in the quest to realign yourself with the power of intention. That power is creation, and you need to be in your own unique state of creativity to collaborate with the power of intention. Meditation and japa are surefire ways to do so. Number 2, be kind. A fundamental attribute of the supreme originating power is kindness. All that's manifested is brought here to thrive. It takes a kindly power to want what it creates to thrive and multiply. Where this not in the case, were this not the case, then all that's created would be destroyed by the same power that created it. In order to reconnect to intention, you must be on the same kindness wavelength as intention itself. Make an effort to live in a cheerful kindness. It's a much higher energy than sadness or malevolence, and it makes the manifestation of your desires possible. It's through giving that we receive. It's through acts of kindness directed toward others that our immune systems are strengthened and even our serotonin levels increased. Low energy thoughts that weaken us fall in the realm of shame, anger, hatred, judgment, and fear. Each of these inner thoughts weakens us and inhibits us from attracting into our lives what we desire. If we become what we think about, and what we think about is what's wrong with the world and how angry and ashamed and fearful we are, it stands to reason that we'll act on those unkind thoughts and become what we're thinking about. When you think, feel, and act kindly, you give yourself the opportunity to be like that power of intention. When you're thinking and acting otherwise, you've left the field of intention and you've assured yourself of feeling cheated by the all-creative spirit of intent. Kindness towards yourself. Think of yourself like this. There's a universal intelligence subsisting throughout nature, inherent in every one of us, its manifestations. No. One more time. There's a universal intelligence subsisting throughout nature, inherent in every one of its manifestations. You are one of those manifestations. You are a piece of this universal intelligence, a slice of God, if you will. Be good to God, since all that God created was good. Be good to yourself. You are God manifested, and that's reason enough to treat yourself kindly. Remind yourself that you want to be kind to yourself in all the choices that make you about your daily life. Treat yourself with kindness when you eat, exercise, play, work, love, and everything else. Treating yourself kindly will hasten your ability to connect to intention. Kindness toward others. A basic tenet of getting along and being happy, as well as enlisting the assistance of others toward achieving all that you want to attract, is that people want to help you and do things for you. When you're kind to others, you receive kindness in return. A boss who's unkind gets very little cooperation from his employees. Being unkind with children makes them want to get even rather than help you out. Kindness given is kindness returned. If you wish to connect to intention and become someone who achieves all of your objectives in life, you're going to need the assistance of a multitude of folks. By practicing extending kindness everywhere, you'll find support showing up in ways that you could never have predicted. This idea of extending kindness is particularly relevant in how you deal with people who are helpless, elderly, mentally challenged, poor, disabled, and so on. These people are all part of God's perfection. They too have a divine purpose. And since all of us are connected to each other through spirit, their purpose and intent is also connected to you. Here's a brief story that will touch you at the heart level. It suggests that those whom we meet who are less than able to care for themselves may have come here to teach us something about the perfection of intention. Read it and know that this kind of thinking, feeling, and behavior empowers you to connect to intention through matching its kindness with your own. Here we go. In Brooklyn, New York, CHUSH is a school that caters to learning disabled children. Some children remain in CHUSH for their entire school career, while others can be mainstreamed into conventional schools. At a CHUSH fundraiser dinner, the father of a CHUSH child delivered a speech that would never be forgotten by all who attended. After extolling the school and its dedicated staff, he cried out, "Where is the perfection in my son, Shia? Everything God does is done with perfection, but my child cannot understand things as other children do. My child cannot remember facts and figures as other children do. Where is God's perfection?" The audience was shocked by the question, pained by the father's anguish, and stilled by the piercing query. "I believe," the father answered, "that when God brings a child like this into the world, the perfection that he seeks is in the way people react to this child. He then told the following loving story about his son Shia. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I can relate to that. That was, I forgot about this part in the book. One day, Shia and his father walked past a park where some boys Shia knew were playing baseball. Shia asked, "Do you think they'll let me play?" Shia's father knew that his son was not at all athletic, and that most boys would not want him on their team. But Shia's father understood that if his son was chosen to play, it would give him a sense of belonging. Shia's father approached one of the boys on the field and asked if Shia could play. The boy looked around for guidance from his teammates. Getting none, he took matters into his own hand and said, "We're losing by 6 runs, and the game is in the 8th inning. I guess he can be on our team, and we'll try to put him up to bat in the 9th inning." Shia's father was ecstatic as Shia smiled broadly. Shia was told to put on a glove and go out to play in center field. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Shia's team scored a few runs but was still behind by 3. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Shia's team scored again and now had 2 outs and bases loaded with a potential winning run on base. Shia was scheduled to be up. Would the team actually let Shia bat at this juncture and give away their chance to win the game? Surprisingly, Shia was given the bat. Everyone knew that it was all but impossible, but Shia didn't even know how to hold the bat properly, let alone hit with it. However, as Shia stepped up to the plate, the pitcher moved a few steps to lob the ball in softly so Shia could at least be able to make contact. The first pitch came in and Shia swung clumsily and missed. One of Shia's teammates came up to Shia, and together they held the bat and faced the pitcher, waiting for the next pitch. The pitcher again took a few steps forward to toss the ball softly toward Shia. As the pitch came in, Shia and his teammates swung the bat, and together they hit a slow ground ball to the pitcher. The pitcher picked up the soft grounder and could easily have thrown the ball to the first baseman. Shia would have been out, and that would have ended the game. Instead, the pitcher took the ball and threw it on a high arc to right field beyond the reach of the first baseman. Everyone started yelling, "Shia, run to first, run to first." Never in his life had Shia run to first. He scampered down the baseline, wide-eyed and startled. By the time he reached the first base, the right fielder had the ball. He could have thrown the ball to the second baseman, who would tag out Shia, who was still running. But the right fielder understood what the pitcher's intentions were, so he threw the ball high and far over the third baseman's head. Everyone yelled, "Run to second, run to second." Shia ran towards second base as the runners ahead of him deliriously circled the bases toward home. As Shia reached second base, the opposing shortstop ran to him, turned him in the direction of third base, and shouted, "Run to third." As Shia rounded third, the boys from both teams ran behind him, screaming, "Shia, run home." Shia ran home and stepped on home plate, and all 18 boys lifted him on their shoulders and made him the hero, as he had just hit a grand slam and won the game for his team. "That day," said the father softly with tears rolling down his face, "those 18 boys reached their level of God's perfection." If you don't feel a tug in your heart and a tear in your eye after reading this story, then it's unlikely that you'll ever know the magic of connecting back to the kindness of the supreme, all-originating source. That is nation. That is nation. That definitely is. The part where it says, that when God brings a child like this into the world, the perfection that he seeks is in the way people react to this child. He then told the loving, so that's basically what I meant. And the way people react to nation is just like that. And I don't expect anything less because of who he is. And I wish I had more footage for you, but he's 17. He does his own little thing, you know what I mean? He's got his NBA game. He's got his little people, his little friends that he chats with. So I do have some clips coming up of him, but this story was awesome because, I mean, anybody who meets him, like, honestly, we went to down to Baltimore to the Science Center, and we were walking through the Science Center, and this lady came up to us. This white lady came up to us, and she just looked at him, and she just smiled, and she's like, "Can I give him a hug? Can I give him a hug?" And I was like, I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I was like, okay, because I was used to it. I mean, I live with him. I know him. I know his spirit. I see his light. It's God's. He is an angel. He's like, and she was like, "Can I give him?" So I was like, "Yes." So then she was getting ready to leave, but she just stopped, and she just dug in her bag and looked and pulled out this plastic fireman hat, and was like, "I just want to give him something. I had brought this for my grandson, but I'm just gonna give it to him." And she just gave it to him. Like, and he was like, "Well, mommy, why'd she give that to me?" And I was just like, I was like, "'Cause you're that lovable. Like, you're just." I mean, they see, you can really see God in him. You can really see the love, the kindness, you know what I mean? The beauty, the understanding, the non-judgmental, the love everybody, love everything. Don't see good or bad. You know what I mean? The things that that he's hearing and that we're teaching him, that's what he's learning. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. He doesn't, you know what I mean? It's just remarkable. So let's continue. I'm at 16 minutes. I think I'm gonna stop there. So I will be doing a part 3 because there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's still like 11 more pages, so we might go into 4. So this is the book, The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. If you're interested in getting this book, I really do really recommend it because I was just thinking about repeating. What did it say? It said something about repeating the kindness to yourself, repeating, you know what I mean, towards yourself, thinking of yourself, saying kind things to yourself. And I've recently just been telling myself, I love myself, I love you, I love you, I love you. You know what I mean? Giving myself that you know, that's, I guess, what I feel that I am missing, what I'm lacking. I mean, you know, people love you, you know that, but it's just different. So this part of the chapter, I really did like it. And so it's kindness toward yourself, kindness toward others, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what you personally think. Kindness toward others, downright, because I'm seeing some stuff going on down on the internet, child, in these YouTube streets, and it just hurts my heart because it's like, regardless of what you think, show kindness, period. Show kindness. Like, we don't know each other's situations. We really don't to really sit and just be unkind and judgmental. And I'll stay myself right here. I'll watch and I'll think about it, but I'm still going to be sending kindness and love through my channel. That's what I want in my area. That's what I want in my atmosphere, is kindness and love. So, see you guys for tomorrow. The Power of Intention, Dr. Wayne Dyer.